Hello and welcome to the Sunday Million. I'm David Tuckman. We are here for yet another highlight show. 7,324 runners, narrowed down to just 9, a prize pool of over $1.46 million. And our final 9, well, we've got 4 Canadians. The bottom 3 here, Diana 7-7, Daddy Muff, and some 1 Canadian. Well, 3 of those players eliminated right away. We're going to jump ahead to hand 27, where we take a look at our final 6. Among our final 6, 3 Canadians. By the way, Daddy Muff from the UK finished runner-up in the Sunday warm-up back in 2009. So 6 players remain. Hand 27. Blinds are 150,000, 300,000. On the button, with the Robo Dice from Latvia. Raises 2x. Stack 'em with the ace-10 is going to 3-bet. And we always talk about this dynamic between the button and the blinds, and we could see a 4-bet shove here. But Merzballs is going to give that one up. If Merzballs had the chip lead, if he had Francis Poker's stack, you might have seen a 4-bet. Really put pressure on your opponents. Just one of those dynamics where the player on the button doesn't necessarily need a big hand, and because of that, Stack 'em, he doesn't necessarily need a big hand either. And if you're Merzballs, you know that. It just happens to be in this particular case, both players have strong hands. So we've got a raise, we've got a 3-bet, we've got a fold, and now we've got a call, and here's the flop. 10-8-3, 2 diamonds. Talk about an action flop. Overs and diamonds for Robo Dice. Stackern with top pair, top kicker. Stackern first to speak. Pot just under $3.5 million. Leads out for $1.5 million. Action on Robo Dice. And how do you play it if you're Robo Dice? You know you're not going to get your opponent to fold an overpair. Or anything better than that. At the same time, though, with overs and a diamond draw, you could play that hand aggressively. King on the turn. Robo Dice has now picked up a gut shot straight draw to go along with his flush draw and his overs. Little does he know, obviously, that his ace is no good. Stackern continues to bet small, $1.5 million. Action on Robo Dice. Stackern, by the way, from Sweden. And Robo Dice calls once more. River's a complete blank. And I think if you're Stackern, you can actually bet this one more time for value. I mean, if you do check here, you're checking to induce, I assume. You're not going to check and then fold, that's for sure. He does check. And I just don't know if a bet makes sense here. With the line that Robo Dice has taken, I just don't know if bluffing makes sense. Robo Dice with just over 10.6 million chips has Stackern covered, and he's going to check it back. Now, I'm not sure if I play the hand the same way Robo Dice played. I might play the hand a little bit more aggressively on the flop or the turn. But with the line that Robo Dice took, by just calling the flop, calling the turn, I do like the check back with ace-jack. I don't know if you were going to get a better hand to fold. Vizolt, 800. From Hungary, is all in with king-jack. He's all in for about 12 big blinds. Vizolt, by the way, continuing his good form of 2012. Last year, he won the Sunday warm-up and came 4th in a W Coupe event. Vizolt on a great run. Robo Dice makes the call. And I don't believe anybody else is going to get involved here. Merzballs gets out of the way. Francis Poker gets out of the way. And Vzolt at risk with the King Jack up against Robodice's Queens. 996, nothing there for Vzolt, 800 right now. Looking for a king. A queen would give Vzolt 800 a straight, but Robodice would have a full house. Deuce of Spades is going to do nothing for him, and Vzolt 800, gone in 6th place, takes home $45,408. 5 players remain. Stackerin with the Ace-Jack offsuit and 22.4 million chips. He's our chip leader right now. He's going to make it 2x, or as we always say, 2 times the big blind. Merzballs folds. Francis Poker with 17 million chips and pack of kings. The Cowboys. There's the 3-bet. Perfect spot to get him as well, because a lot of times that 3-bet on the button looks like a move. You don't necessarily need a hand to 3-bet on the button. In this particular case, Francis Poker has got it. Back over to Stacker with Ace-Jack. 5-handed Ace-Jack, a very big hand. And Stacker is going to 4-bet. Small 4-bet. And Francis Poker clicking it back one more time. Three-bet, a 4-bet, and now a 5-bet. And if you've got Ace-Jack offsuit, I just don't know how much you like your hand. You can call this, though. I'm not normally a big fan of calling big bets from out of position, but in this particular case, the odds are just too compelling not to call. Stacker makes the call and promptly flops trip aces against Francis Poker's kings. Much easier to get away from kings when you see 1 ace. When you see 2 aces, less likely your opponent has one, more likely you continue on with kings. Stacker checks over to Francis Poker. Pot is enormous, by the way, nearly 13 million chips, and Francis Poker bets 4 million. Not sure I like this bet by Francis Poker. And Stacker just shoves all in. We don't like to pull punches or mince words here. Not sure I like the way either player has played this post-flop. I mean, if you're Francis Poker, you're either way ahead or way behind. Not much value in putting what amounts to about 35% of your stack in there. And if you're Stacker, the same thing. You're either way ahead or you're way behind. Interesting play, though. Anyway, you look at it, though. Stacker now up to nearly 32 million chips. Francis Poker at 6.7 million chips. Big Dog Pocket Fives raises with Ace-Deuce. Talk about a guy who is hot. Casey Jarzabek, Big Dog Pocket Fives, has a win in the Sunday warm-up about a month ago. He won the Super Tuesday on January 8th and made the final table of last week's Sunday Million, finishing 4th for $137,000. Pretty amazing when you think about it. This is a guy who's won over $300,000 on Stars since December 9th. And obviously still in the running here for a title. So we got a raise from Big Dog, a 3-bet from Robodice, a 4-bet shove from Francis Poker, and now a call from Robodice after Big Dog folds. Francis at risk, but he flops a set. Robodice hits his ace, but needs running cards. They are not going to come, and Francis Poker will double up. Robodice down to 7.8 million chips. Still 5-handed here in the Sunday Million. Once again, 7,324 players. We are down to our final 5. And if you want to be part of the action, we are giving you that opportunity for free. That's right, for free. But you need the password, and that's coming later.
He's playing poker!
I've been wandering around this place like a gypsy gnome.
Drop us all in!
Yes!
We are competition everywhere. We are poker.
We are poker indeed. Welcome back to the Sunday Million Highlight Show. I'm David Tuckman. 3 Canadians among our final 5. but a Swede on top of the leaderboard, Stackern with nearly 32 million chips. We're going to jump ahead 9 hands. Stackern now with 32.3 million chips. Merzballs at the bottom of the leaderboard with 6.1 million. Merzballs, by the way, several notable scores on stars, including a 3rd place in a W Coupe event. Blinds now 200,000, 400,000. Robo Dice in the cutoff. It's going to make it 2x. Stackern folds. Merzballs now in the small blind. Maybe a 3-bet shove. Yep, there's the 3-bet shove for 15 big blinds. It's a nice 3-bet shoving stack. And I like the play. I mean, I think King Queen way ahead of Robo Dice's raising range. Plus, you might get some better hands to fold. In this particular case, you might get Ace-8 to fold. Robo Dice makes the call, though. 12.7 million in the pot. Merzballs behind and at risk. Not anymore, though. Pair of kings for Merzballs. Robo Dice needs running cards or an ace. And now only an ace will save Robo Dice. And that, my friends, is not an ace. 7 of clubs on the river. Robo Dice down to 906,000 chips. Merzball 66 up to 12.7 million. Robo Dice with less than 2 big blinds. Behind, I should say, since he is in the big blinds right now. Blinds are 250,000, 500,000. Stackern raises. Merzballs calls. Big Dog possibly looking at a squeeze. There's the squeeze from Big Dog. Unfortunate timing for him. Robo Dice all in as well. Stackern's not folding jacks. In fact, he moves all his chips into the middle. That should get Merzballs 66 to fold his 8s. Merzballs does just that. And we see it 3 ways. It's the side pot that's the significant one, though. That's the one that Stackern's going to want to win. And you can see that Stackern is a favorite, but not a favorite against the field. Only a 48% chance of winning this pot. 9 deuce deuce, a pair of 9s for Big Dog. Stackern still in the lead with jacks and deuces. A full house makes the flush draw that Robo Dice picked up irrelevant. The river, it's the ace. And Big Dog, pocket 5, hits a bigger full house, 2s full of aces, to win not only the main pot, but the side pot, and take the chip lead. Robo Dice eliminated in 5th place. The Latvian takes home $122,000, courtesy of a 5-way deal these players made. Still plenty of money left on the table, and of course, the prestigious Sunday Million title. Stackern raises from the button with 4s. Merzball with about 22 big blinds. You might see a 3-bet here. You do see the 3-bet. It's the 3-bet shove from Merzballs. Francis Poker's going to fold back over to Stackern. And this is a tough spot with a small pocket pair. Very rarely are you going to be dominating your opponent. Generally, you're either a 4-1 dog or it's a coin flip, which is why a lot of very good players don't like to call off with small pocket pairs. But Stackern makes the call. Jack 5-3, a set for Merzballs, and Stackern way, way behind. Needs a club, though. A club would win it for him. 8 of spades not going to win it for him, though. And Merzballs up to 22.8 million chips. Stackern now our short stack with under 10 million. Pretty crazy hand there. You flop a set and you still might lose. Stackern needed running cards, caught 1 club, but couldn't catch the second one. Big Dog raises with 9-8. Merzball is going to make the call with the King-Queen. Francis gets out of the way. We'll see this one heads up. Flop is Queen 10-9. Big Dog with a bottom pair and a gut shot. Merzballs with top pair and a gut shot. Goes check, check. And the turn is the 9. Big Dog takes the card and hits trips. Mersballs leads out for $1 million. You expect Big Dog to raise this. No, he just makes the call. I'm kind of surprised. You hit trip 9s. Why wouldn't you raise that? Big Dog definitely underrepresenting the strength of his hand. No reason for Mersballs not to bet this for value. And sure enough, he bets $2.5 million. And Big Dog just makes the call. I mean, a very, very odd play by Big Dog Pocket 5. I'm not going to question Casey Jarzabek because this guy is hot. Like I said, he is on an absolute tear in 2013, and in fact, really on a tear since December 9th of last year. But that's an odd play. I feel like he could have raised the turn and made it look like he was on a big draw. He certainly could have raised the river. Get a raise from Mersballs, a call from both the small blind and the big blind. Flop is Queen 8 deuce, very dry. Perfect flop for Mersballs to put a continuation bet out there on. Both blinds check. And I'm betting this 100% of the time. In a two-way pot, I'm betting this 100% of the time. I understand the adage of sometimes checking back a marginal hand to get value on a later straight. But in this particular case, against two opponents, I want to protect my equity in the pot. I think the chips are just too important. Interesting turn card here. Not only does it give Big Dog the lead with a pair of aces, but Francis Poker and Mersballs both pick up flush draws. Francis Poker has also picked up a gut shot wheel draw. So we get a bet here from Big Dog. You expect a call from Mersballs. There's the call. If I'm Francis Poker, I might raise this. I don't think either player is particularly strong, and I might be able to raise this and represent. Instead, he just makes the call. The river's a club. What an action card here. It's going to kill Big Dog's hand. Talk about being unlucky if you're Francis Poker. This is a cooler. You get a check, over to Mersballs. No reason not to bet if you're Mersballs. In fact, I'm actually kind of surprised that Francis Poker did not lead out. I think a backdoor draw is actually likely, and if Mersballs didn't have clubs, I just don't know if he's betting it. Francis Poker, obviously going to make the call. Wisely decides not to check raise all in. Saves himself some chips. Not going to like what he sees, though, and Mersballs plays the hand a little bit unconventionally and gets the absolute max. Up to 25.8 million chips now. Hand 85. Blind still 250,000, 500,000. Francis Poker with the King 10. Expect him to shove here. He's going to raise. He raises, stacker and shoves. I just don't think you can raise and then call off with King 10. And that's exactly what Francis Poker does. To me, the play is if you're gonna call off, I'd rather just shove with the King 10. 8-7-6. Francis Poker needs a 9, a 10, or a king. 6 isn't gonna help him. Once again, a 9, a 10, or a king, or Francis Poker is out the door. Out the door he is. Francis Poker, the Canadian, gone in 4th place, does take home $134,000. Nice payday. 3 players remain here in the Sunday Million. Big Dog still our chip leader. Once again, Casey Jarzabek. He won the Sunday warm-up about a month ago. He won the Super Tuesday on January 8th and made the final table of last week's Sunday Million, finishing 4th. He's already bested that performance. So we got a raise from Big Dog, a 3-bet from Stackern. Big Dog makes the call. Pot 4.65 million. Flop is 10-8 deuce. Action flop here. Stackering with a pair of eights. I don't think he's going to fold this. Big dog with an open-ended draw. A lot of outs for Big Dog, obviously. A 6, a jack, or a 9 would give him the lead. Stacker and bets $2 million. Big Dog makes the call. King on the turn. Big Dog probably hoping his opponent would check the turn and he could take it away on the turn. But Stacker continues firing. Kind of a small bet, $2 million into $8.6 million. And if you're Big Dog, maybe you raise here? Nope, he decides just to call. Might be hard for Big Dog to represent the king. Doesn't make a ton of sense, I suppose. Stackern hits trips on the river. Now the only question is, does Stackern check to induce the bluff? If he knew what Big Dog had, obviously that's the play. Instead, he decides to shove in for $8.9 million. Obviously, Big Dog not going to make the call with 9 high. He folds. Big Dog still our chip leader. 3 players remain here at the Sunday Million. Who will win the title?
We are 10,000 people in Brazil, holding our breath. We are alone. Hunters. Hunted. We are committed. Blessed. Calm. We are all in. We are poker.
Welcome back to the Sunday Million Highlights Show. If you're waiting for the password, here it is. The online poker show free roll. Get in on the action, and maybe you will be at the final table next week. So 3 players remain. At hand 86, this is what it looked like. Really anybody's tournament. 2 Canadians, 1 Swede. Big Dog in the lead, but not by much. We're going to jump ahead about 10 hands. Not a ton has happened right now. Stacker and still our short stack with $22.5 million. Big Dog still our chip leader with under $27 million. Blinds are 300,000, 600,000. Stacker not playing his button with the king. Maybe a little bit of a surprise. Merzballs in the small blind. Raises min. See a lot of players actually raising more than minimum from the small blind. Merzballs decides min's enough. Big Dog makes the call. And he's way behind here with King 4. Merzballs started the hands with the best of it and still has the best of it with a pair of 5s. And based on what we've seen from Merzballs, you'd expect him to check here. He's got a hand with showdown value, so he checks it. I'm not a huge fan of it, I'll be honest. Obviously, Merzballs is a very good player. He has several notable scores on Stars. 3rd place in the No Limit Hold'em W Coupe event. And he's getting value where other players might not get value. You know, he induces this bluff from Big Dog. Obviously, Merzball is not going to fold. You just have to realize, obviously, that your hand is somewhat vulnerable. Merzball's obviously supremely confident in his ability to know where he's at in a hand. It goes check, check on the turn. Running queens, and if you're Merzballs, I think you can actually bet this for value. I mean, I think you have the best hand almost all the time. He's going to check, though. Big Dog is going to try to bluff at it. He bets $3.6 million. He might play a pair of 9s like this. Merzballs can really only beat a bluff now. I can't imagine Big Dog betting a weaker hand than Ace-5 for value. Merzballs makes the call, and up to now, 29.8 million chips. He's our chip leader. And give him credit. Once again, Merzballs gets the maximum value from his hand. Stacker and raises on the button with Jack 10. Merzball's not going to play. Big Dog going to make the call with 7-4 suited. Interesting flop here. Big Dog, a 2-1 favorite now. He's got a pair of 7s to go along with a gut shot. Stacker and with overcards plus the gut shot. He bets 1.2 million. Actually not a terrible flop for Stacker. And I mean, you prefer there to be at least one heart out there. Overs, gut shot. Figure he's got 10 outs. Well, he's got a lot less than 10 outs now. Trip 7s for Big Dog, pocket 5s. Who now is trip 7? Stacker needs a 9. He's going to continue firing. He knows Jack High has no showdown value. Bets 3 million into 5.2 million. And Big Dog makes the call. Decides not to raise the turn. And the river's a 6. Big Dog has hit his straight. Checks it one more time. One liner to a straight out there. Stacker obviously knows he's no good. Just a question of, can I rep a straight here? Can I bluff at this one? And he's going to bet 3.6 million, and I just can't imagine Big Dog folding. He makes the call, and Big Dog plays the hand once somewhat passively and gets absolute full value from it. Stacker down to under 10 million chips, hand 105. Big Dog and Merzballs each at about 30 million chips. Stacker and raising. Based on what we've seen from Merzballs, you expect a 3-bet here. Sure enough, there it is, the 3-bet to 3 million. Big Dog with the gap-suited connector. Not going to get involved in a 3-bet pot, though. I don't think you can call this if you're Stacker. Nope, Stacker's going to shove all in. No fold equity whatsoever. Merzball's not going anywhere for 6 million chips. He makes the call. He was getting more than 2-1. And it's a race. King 5 against 3s. And there's the 5 plus the spade draw. Wow. What a flop for Stacker. Hits a pair of 5s plus the spade draw. Merzballs needs a 3 to eliminate him. Queen of Clubs not going to do it. And Stacker doubles up to 19.5 million chips. Merzballs down to just under 23 million. Sometimes better to be lucky than good. Merzballs on the button with 10-8 suited. Decides not to raise that. I'm a little bit surprised. These players playing it somewhat passively, especially pre-flop on the button. I always find it interesting to see how each Sunday Million takes on a personality of its own. Big Dog raises from the small blind. Stacker is going to 3-bet. You can't call this from out of position, I don't think. Nope. Big Dog is going to try to represent. He 4-bets. And Stacker is going to 5-bet. And obviously at this point, Big Dog's got to realize that he's way behind. He makes the call, though. Unfortunately, not much there for him. The cards are red, but they're hearts. 2 hearts and 1 diamond. 9-7-5. Stacker He goes, you know what? You got it. You got it. I'm going all in with my queens, and obviously Big Dog cannot make the call. And just like that, Stackern, who was under 10 million chips like 4 hands ago, is now our chip leader. That's how quickly things change in No Limit Hold'em. Big Dog tanking here for no particular reason. Maybe trying to save face. Maybe trying to make it look like he had a big hand. And eventually his cards go in the muck. And as they do, Stackern rakes in the chips. He is now up to 29.6 million chips. Still 3-handed here at the Sunday Million. Once again, these players have made a deal, but a lot of money and the title still up for grabs. Big Dog raises on the button. Stackern in the small blind with ace-6. I prefer a 3-bet here to just a call. And Stackern does 3-bet to 3 million. A hand like ace-6 offsuit, playing that hand out of position can be very difficult. Of course, you just got in a raising war with this player. And do you really want to go to war with a hand like ace-6? And sure enough, Big Dog 4-bets. Back over to Stackern. Does he really want to double up Big Dog with a hand like ace-6 offsuit? Yep, he's going to shove all in. I don't think you're making it 7 million to fold. Big Dog makes the call, and he's way ahead. Ace-10 against ace-6. A little bit of a misstep from Stackern. He picks up a gut shot straight draw. Needs a 6 or a 7. There's the 6. Big Dog at risk. Needs a 7 to chop it, a 10 to win it. 8 of hearts not going to help him, and Big Dog pocket 5 is gone in 3rd place. Casey Jarzabek, man, this guy has been on such a run. Like I said, won a Super Tuesday, won the Sunday warm-up, made the final table in last Sunday Million. He has earned $417,000 on stars since December 9th. Big Dog pocket 5, Casey Jarzabek finishes in 3rd place. Takes home $118,000. What a run. We are heads up here. Stackern, Mersballs, kings against 4s. Mersballs at risk. Obviously, Stackern going to make the call. Will a 4 come? Not yet. Jack 10, 6, 2 diamonds out there. Running diamonds. Not going to come. Only a 4 will save Mersballs. It's the Jack of Spades, and that is it. Wow, what a final table. Mersball 66 with several notable scores on stars adds a 2nd place Sunday Million to his poker resume as well as $95,000. Stackern, though, the Swede, takes home the title, takes home $164,000. Very intriguing final table it was. 4 Canadians at the final table, including Big Dog pocket 5s. Casey Jarzabek's story worth repeating. 2 big wins and 2 final tables in the last couple of months. Definitely a player to watch. Congrats again to Stackern, who won the Sunday Million. And thank you for joining us. As always, all the highlights here on PokerStars.tv. Until next time, I'm David Tuckman. Reach the stars.